A woman awakens in an internal space. She starts to fear. She is warned not to move by another young man who also tries to calm her down. Another woman awakens as she becomes anxious, and the young man once more reassures them of his knowledge. Everyone else begins to awaken all at once, and hysteria can be seen spreading throughout the big assemblage. The man yells at the crowd to calm down, but they mostly ignore him. Some people listen, while others who leave their circle are instantly slain. One guy figures out that whoever dies is controlled by their hands, seemingly voting for who should die next. Before a young man stands forward and says that they should kill the older people 6 to give them 10 minutes to discuss what is happening. About 5 people have been murdered. The senior victims wail and plead for their life as they are eliminated one by one. To buy some time, one individual tries to make up the story that he saw wet black aliens. He gets killed because the group does not believe him. The guy that suggested the older people die targets a woman with cancer, accusing her of not being 52, and other members of the group join in to defend her when he says cancer or not, she will still die next. One man claims that this man should be problematic for anyone above the age of 35. The young man realizes he will be killed when the noise that kicks off the voting starts. He begs for his life, but the room votes unanimously to have him killed. People begin to try to understand what is happening. Everyone should communicate with one another and make an effort to understand the issue, according to the cancer patient. After the woman begins describing them in great detail about her life, she is abruptly killed, and the group determines that using no names is a better method to communicate. A man makes note of his wife's presence next to him. A second man claims to know the person in front of him as well. A police officer mentions that he knows the person who beat his girlfriend. He acknowledges it when asked if the allegations of domestic abuse are accurate. Following a confrontation with the officer, he is slain. They must pick who is good and who is terrible, a woman comments. A second man, who is black, remarks cynically that everyone should simply kill the black people. A few people in the group start yelling and arguing. The officer starts acting racially when he claims that black people believe they deserve everything. The group ends up killing him. Everyone wants to live. Thus they all need to cooperate because they are likely being studied, says a U.S. Marine. In an effort to end the program, people decide to all vote for the person who sits next to them. A random individual is killed as a result of it failing. They retry it because they believe someone made a mistake. Over a pregnant woman and a silent man, a dazzling light arises out of nowhere. He passes away. A man comments that he voted for the man who was killed because he saw him vote for the pregnant lady, and that was the only way to stop him. The group conclude that it's a game. Another guy comments that it will be the kid or the pregnant lady that win, and that if they kill them now, everyone else has a better chance of living. The group begins to vote, but the tie lands on an elderly Asian woman and the little girl. The little girl is spared. The group must decide whether to kill one of them or protect the pregnant woman and young child. Resuming vote, a male is unexpectedly chosen in a three-way tie, behind the pregnant woman and young child. He cries out in hysteria, "Just kill them both," and then passes away. A man motions for people to come forward and offers to die. Nobody steps forward for a brief period of time till 16 years old Sean offers that he will volunteer because he doesn't want to murder anyone. He should not die, according to another man, because he is only a kid. Following a discussion about how Sean is either too young or is let to make his own decisions, an older black man at the back stands up and says, "No, I will do it." After being asked, Sean claims he still wants to volunteer. They murder him. The Marine claims that he was in Afghanistan protecting them and reasons why he shouldn't perish as he feels suddenly targeted as others turn to stare at him. An elderly woman offers to volunteer when asked by the crowd. She sobs and is murdered. A clergyman assures the crowd that God is keeping an eye on them and that he has a plan. A man starts yelling and swearing at the minister. Following the vote, there is a tie between him and a woman who remains silent. The man claims to be aware that the woman standing next to him is a porn star. He insists she does porn even if she swears she doesn't. She is a mistress of a man named David, he claims, who is married and has children. The group ends up killing him. Someone advises that people should consider whether or not they have families and that those who are childless should volunteer. The voting process continues, and a youngster who said she was still just a kid is killed while a man introduces himself to a woman. The man who was introducing himself to the gathering targets a lady who comes out as a lesbian and says she has sinned and isn't deserving of dying for. The man asserts that it is improper to be gay. The group ends up killing the man. Nobody votes on the next round, and the man and woman that knew each other from before both die and choose to die together. A man who has always been quite vocal starts to wonder if the pregnant woman is a good person. He remarks that she may not be a good person and inquires as to the father of the child. He won't stop asking her questions despite the fact that she is agitated. People appear to be oblivious to the voting sound when it starts to play. An unknown man gets slain. The same man is questioned about his character and his position by a black man who has previously raised a lot of questions. He replies that he is a banker. He argues that he is a decent person because he donates to charities and lends people money to help them. But when a woman, a student, brings up the potential salary he makes, others are less convinced. He asks the graduate what she does after becoming irritated. She responds. She then begins speaking softly in a different language to a man who cannot understand English. The group ends up killing her. As the number of participants in the group continues to decline, people start to mention that there are sides, and fissures start to appear. A man steps in and asserts that the pregnant woman and unborn child need to be protected by the good side. Therefore, everyone is in agreement. The toddler and the man who doesn't speak any English end up tied. In order to save her, he sacrifices himself. The banker and the Marine get into an argument. The Marine is appalled and claims the banker would murder a child to save his own life. When it comes down to it, the banker says that he wants to live and that he will see what the Marine does. He starts chanting that the group has to kill the child and the pregnant woman because he is furious. People begin debating sides, and the banker begins shouting angrily. One group claims to be voting for the youngster, while another claims to be voting for the banker. The banker is slain after a draw results. A man says that everyone should vote for the guy with one arm who was in favor of saving the child and pregnant lady because it will even things out. The guy gets killed. The Marine says that the couple husband should die. As the husband panics and says that he will swap his wife for himself, the Marine suddenly tells everyone to vote for the black guy. A man exclaims that everyone has committed suicide while laughing and declaring that real love conquers all. He asserts that they are most likely not wed, that they are lying, and that their only motivation for doing so is survival. No one wants to kill someone's husband or wife, especially in their presence, he claims. People interrogate the couple by asking them things such, what's his birth date, who are his parents? When a woman asks what her husband's name is, the group realizes he's already revealed it, but the wife doesn't respond. The pair admits their lies after the group realizes it. Though the group kills the man, they both accuse the other of beginning the lying first. The same man that accused them of not being married states that he can help keep her alive and that she shouldn't have lied. The Marine steps in and claims that he is just trying to use her. The woman agrees to join the side that wants to kill the group. A man stays silent as he is asked what side he is on. The gay woman has her emotions played with by the man who is trying to rally a group to kill the pregnant lady and child. A tie ensues between 5 people. All die. Marine, lady with cancer, the woman who was accused of being a pornster, and a random except the leader of the bad side. He tries to enlist the pregnant lady to vote against the little girl, but she says she won't do it. 6 people are left after a man says that he is sorry to the pregnant lady and sacrifices himself. It is now an even vote. People begin to vote, but a man refuses, and the lady who lied about being married dies. The 2 guys that are left question the guy that didn't vote. The group decide to vote against him, and the leader of the bad side agrees. He suddenly realizes he has been played and is killed. The good guy, the pregnant lady, and the child realize they have to vote for the old man. He is killed. With just the guy, pregnant lady, and child left, they start to say it was likely an experiment to learn about us. The guy says when he is gone they will need to decide who steps forward or both will be killed. The little girl says she will go and the woman starts crying. He says it's very brave of her and that they will go together. The voting beeper starts to go and he shouts at her to go. She steps off her circle, but the guy also selects the pregnant lady to die. He sighs in relief. The voting beeper goes off again and he begins to shout, thinking he will die anyway. A tie ensues between him and the baby that is inside the dead pregnant lady. He selects the baby to die and the screen goes black. The guy wakes up on concrete. He looks up at some kind of spaceship and sees lots of them floating around. He walks for a while and sees a group of people looking up at them. He looks with them at a huge spaceship in the sky, and that's the end of the story. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you won't miss out on new videos. Until next time, stay safe.